Washington, though, another one where it's just baffling because we don't know what's going to happen with Bradley Beal. He has not requested a trade, but it feels like he could at any point. If he doesn't, I think that you're looking at win now moves because this roster is sneaky good. Westbrook reinvigorated the organization during the second half of this past season. He looked like a decent fit alongside Beal. You can expect to get more from Deni Avdija. You can expect to get more from Rui Hachimura. Daniel Gafford was a revelation. Alex Len played well. You're getting Thomas Bryant back from the torn ACL. Davis Bertans is still there. Garrison Matthews is still there. There's a lot of talent here. So it feels like you're just looking at veterans, shockingly, because this is a drastic turnaround from where this organization was this time last year.
And I think you're looking at wings specifically. Will Barton.
Yeah, I have Danny Green, Will Barton written down.
Will Barton, Danny Green, Reggie Bullock, of course, just to like that 3-and-D type. Josh
Alec
Richardson.
Burks, the same names we've been mentioning.
Yeah, and so you have to be in play for them. I will say you are obligated to look at win now moves if Bradley Beal doesn't request a trade, though, because they can do some interesting stuff between this year's lottery pick. I don't know why I'm blanking where they are right now. They're not lottery. They're number 15, excuse me. So it's like a fringe lottery pick. Number 15, Rui Hachimura, Deni Avdija, and then future picks because their future is so uncertain. Here's one I've thought about because I think you have enough offense in Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. They might be a team that could get in on the Pascal Siakam sweepstakes because you have Daniel Gafford, Avdija, Hachimura, and picks. Does that get you somewhere? You have Davis Bertans as matching salary, although Bertans around the Siakam Westbrook pairing, that might be super critical. Are you willing to pay all four of those guys? I don't know, but there actually probably aren't workable ways to get Siakam without giving up Bertans, so never mind. But you have a ready-made salary matching tool in there. I also thought about Miles Turner. Unless you don't think he's enough of an upgrade over Gafford, I would argue he is defensively.
I'm going to take the opposite stance. I think that Gafford showed enough in the brief run last year that I don't want to move him. He was an energetic two-way force for this team, and he only turns 23 in October. I wouldn't say he's untouchable because if you're getting a star or a Siakam level player, you're probably going to be willing to move him. But I would be really hesitant to give him up.
Yeah, the other name I thought about, I disagree with you firmly there, but I wouldn't give up a ton of value for him. But it's also, they're going to run into this issue with Siakam or Turner. I thought about Harrison Barnes too, but they just don't have you're not trading Beal or Westbrook in that scenario. And then Davis Bertans makes $16 million. It's like, I guess that's middle rung salary, but if Sacramento wants to rebuild, why do they want Davis Bertans? Maybe Indy would want Davis Bertans, but why not just pay Doug McDermott at that point? You can step ladder it. It's going to take Thomas Bryant, Chandler Hutchinson, and then it's going to take a Denny or a Rui. But like you can get there to Harrison Barnes without giving up a Davis Bertans. Maybe you don't want to do that though. That's where they're going to run into some issues. But I think they're sneakily built to pull. If they're willing to give up Davis Bertans, dangle their youngsters and future picks, I think they are sneaky candidates to pull off a blockbuster type trade.
So here's my hot take on Daniel Gafford. And I'm looking at the Crystal Basketball rankings from NBA Math, and this will be a slight spoiler in case anybody is following those so closely that they don't want that. But going into the 2020-21 season, he had a 2.93 grade from our panel, which tied him with Rodney McGruder for 315th in the league. This season, or coming out of the season, he has elevated to a 4.31, which puts him in 184th overall. I bet he's in the top 100 at the end of this coming season.
Here's my thing. You're just saying that you'd rather have him over Miles Turner?
I would rather, no, I don't think if it was a 1-for-1 swap, sure. But you're going to be giving up other pieces to get Turner as well. Like if Indiana calls and is like, hey, we love Gafford, we'll give you Miles Turner for him, then hell yeah, you're doing that. That's not what's going to happen here.
Washington doesn't have the flexibility to do that. Yeah. And that's where they run into the issue of it almost has to be a really big deal.
Yeah.
Or it can't. Do you think, and this is where we should wrap this up, is Bradley Beal on the Wizards to start the season?
Yep.
I'm going to say no.
I like how much we're disagreeing in this episode. It's good.
I just feel like the reporting of him all of a sudden weighing his future, and the telltale one for me is the Russell Westbrook stuff. You're not, unless Bradley Beal said, yeah, I'll do the rebuild with you. Russell Westbrook's name's not getting out there unless that you think Bradley Beal is not going to be there, because then that's when Russell Westbrook becomes eminently available. Otherwise, you need him to optimize this window with Bradley Beal.
I'm still going to say no. I
Okay,
gut feeling.
Is Bradley Beal on the Wizards at the end of next season?
No.
So this is, but if you're going to move him at the deadline, why wait then? Like
because you consistently made the all-in moves, and you need to see how it's going to play out from the start of a season first. There's still enough young talent on this roster that Washington can very easily convince itself to see what it has. If it gets off to a hot start, it becomes a buyer at the deadline. If it doesn't work out, if you're only a mid-level playoff team in the Eastern Conference, then you're moving him.
So who is the most likely star to get traded in your book then this summer?
I think Simmons is gone, just based on how I'm reading the reporting around that situation. So I think that's my answer. Other than that, like, I don't think Lowry's back, so it's probably Siakam is my number 2.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Lowry's going to get traded just because he's a free agent, but yeah, it'd be funny if Simmons and Beal were traded for each other.
It would be.
This was great. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We enjoyed it as well. Hopefully it's not outdated by the time you listen to this. As always, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. iTunes specifically helps us out a ton. Head over there, throw us that 5-star rating, write a review. Find us on YouTube, search YouTube, or go to YouTube, search Hardwood Knocks, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and we can be found on Twitter at Hardwood Knocks and IG at Hardwood_Knocks. There are IG and YouTube exclusives that will go up as we see fit. Until next time, and as always, we give a shout out to the one, the only future Chicago Bulls savior, apparently, Frank Ntilikina.